Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridget on this finally Friday. We made it. It is May 10th. Mother's Day weekend is coming up, and hope that you have made it through this hot week all right. I know that I have tried to limit how long I've been outside during those peak hours, but it's almost like it makes you walk in slow motion, even though it's so hot. And we'll get a check of the weather in a second and your traffic, get to a little bit of news. And today we want to highlight military caregivers. So we have a live interview coming up with Seniors Helping Seniors, which is a great organization that is helping seniors in Flagler, St. Johns, and Volusia counties with their mission to support seniors with a special focus on veterans. So we'll get to the Military Caregiver Month interview in just a moment. But first, a check of that forecast with meteorologist Candace Campos in the Pinpoint Weather Center. And so we started off this morning just like all the other mornings, but we broke a record yesterday.
Right. So yesterday we hit a record high, let's say in Daytona Beach, for instance, 97. Yesterday
Mm.
officially was the hottest day of the year, at least so far, with highs about
Mm.
97. Sanford, Daytona Beach, Orlando, 92 in Melbourne. So the big story yesterday was all about the heat. Now, today, we're going to put that heat on like priority number 2 because it's still going to be a hot day. Temperatures still in the mid 90s, could be very dangerous if you're going to be working or
Mm-hmm,
having to be
mm-hmm.
outside for a bit.
Right.
But we're going to also shift our focus really to the storm threat. So the
Mm-hmm.
reason why we're really starting to build up that heat for the past couple of days is we have a front just to our north, and that's really kind of juicing and destabilizing our atmosphere a little bit. And that's why we're anticipating those storms to erupt this afternoon and a little bit into the overnight. So let me
Mm.
show you what you need to know, Bridget, as we plan out our Friday and into your Mother's Day weekend. So our weather alert day is designated for Central Florida to be on a little more of an extra heightened alert, making sure you have your Pinpoint Weather app, making sure you're enabling those notifications. That way, if you do uh, find yourself within a warned or watched area, we will be able to notify you. So the threat for today will be across our far northern zones by around the lunchtime hour. So we're talking Marion, Flagler County. Both of these counties, by the way, are under a severe thunderstorm watch until lunchtime. So those two counties will get in on the storm activity a little earlier in the day, so temperatures won't be as hot. Further south you go, we will be heating up those temperatures before the threat shifts further south later this afternoon and into the overnight Saturday. So let me show you here. This is our clouds and rain forecast. You can see line of pretty heavy rain approaching our Marion County, Flagler counties there by about 11, the lunchtime hour. This latest model run is keeping it a little further to the north, so we're going to start seeing the possibility of those concerns back off a little bit, but it's still something that we're going to keep a really close eye on. So you notice the majority of Central Florida looking hot, looking dry throughout at least 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we're going to see kind of that second pulse of moisture come through. This one will have a better chance of reaching further south into Central Florida. So Marion into Flagler into Volusia County, with that big batch kind of sweeping through Central Florida. We're going to bring rain chances down just a little bit as the sun goes down. And then that main line with that cold front will be pushing through Central Florida throughout the overnight. So we're really going to kind of break this down into basically 3 rounds. Our first round, and you'll see that with our rain chances today, about a 50 to 70% for our northern zones. Rain chances do drop off a little bit as we head into the afternoon. I should say the rain chances drop off a little bit the further south you go because of just location really today. Looking at your severe weather outlook. So wind, hail, and lightning will be pretty much the biggest concern, the highest chance within some of those stronger storms. So winds between 40 to 60 miles per hour. Hail, although there will be the chance, thankfully we're looking at more of a small sized hail event potentially. Looking at your highs before the rain and storms come in, highs will be in the mid 90s, basically from Sanford southward will be the hottest half. The further north you go, just because you will see the clouds and the rain a little earlier in the day, it might not get as toasty. Now, that front comes through early Saturday morning. Most of us will be waking up by daybreak, mostly dry. And then we'll see temperatures back off a little bit, back to near about 90 degrees for your Mother's Day, looking dry. And then we are bringing back that chance of rain, a decent chance of rain, much needed rain in the forecast starting Monday and continuing into most of next week. So again, weather alert day for today. It's not going to be an all-day event, but we're going to continue to time out those kind of little rounds of rain and storms in the forecast, which is why having your Pinpoint weather app handy, getting those notifications from us is extremely useful, especially on days like today, Bridget.
Right. And at least it looks a little clearer for our Mother's Day. Are you looking forward to
Yes.
that?
Yeah, I am. I don't know exactly what we're doing just yet, but you
Mm-hmm.
know what? At least the weather will be nice. It'll still be warm
Mm-hmm.
enough. So maybe, I don't know, maybe pool or something. I'm not sure. Do
Yeah.
you have anything up your sleeves for Mother's Day?
I'm hoping to catch a brunch, but I would like to treat myself to something. I don't know if
Mm,
it's nails or maybe a massage or something.
you
So
gotta you gotta do
I need
something.
to,
Gotta do
yeah, I got to
something.
do something between when we get off today and this weekend.
All right.
But you know,
Well,
you
let
know,
me know on
moms,
Monday what you end up doing. Happy Mother's Day.
you too, Miss Mommy.
You
All
too.
right.
Bye.
Thanks, Candace. All right. And it's time to check in with Trooper Steve. He is over in the Pinpoint Weather Traffic Center this morning. Good morning, sir. How's it going?
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
All right. How are you?
I'm getting through. We're operating
Okay.
about 15 minutes behind schedule in my head. But things are good. We got a
Okay.
new program here. It's getting to show us really nice things. We're back on patrol today, so we've got a lot going on. But the good thing is roadways aren't too bad. So if we want to jump over to our traffic maps this morning, things showing pretty good out and about. What you're looking at here is going to be I-4, the Champions Gate area. That's going to be County Road 532, but we call it Champions Gate. Nice and smooth out there. This is normal delays that we see eastbound, so please increase your following distance. Not too bad of a drive time either. 36 minutes right there to the 408 area. So if you're headed towards downtown Orlando, just plan ahead. If you're hopping on from John Young, you're good to go. You can see those delays building there. And if you're visiting us from out of town, maybe staying in the Reunion area, right off of Old Lake Wilson, you can see some northbound delays within that specific roadway. But 408 looking good. Florida Turnpike, even Hiawassee through the Metro West area. North of there, I did have a crash that came out a little while ago, labeled serious crash at Silver Star at Hiawassee. So we do know what happens when a crash happens in the intersection. Everyone gets affected. So just be careful as you're cruising through. Metro Orlando, not too bad. Winter Park, Maitland, even Eatonville, Goldenrod area, currently crash free with some minor delays westbound along 408. That crash that you see at the bottom right side of your screen is just sticking around there from earlier last night, a fatal crash investigation, unfortunately. Now, drive times when it comes to the weather drive times when it comes to getting to the airport, I can only give you what it's going to take you to get there. Keep in mind, with some of the storms that Candace is pinpointing today, some of your flights might be delayed. So keep that in mind. 417 from our northeast area. Please be careful this morning. State Road 417 to 528 to 436. 11-minute drive. That's what I'm talking about. And then 39 minutes if you're coming from Claremont to get out towards the airport. Lake Nona, you guys are checking out pretty good. So for the most part, Bridget, traffic pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be taking off out of here and headed towards Sanford International Airport for Hurricane Awareness Day that's taking place out there.
Okay.
NOAA, along with other hurricane forecasters, are going to be there. And meteorologist Jonathan Kagas has basically said, Steve, I haven't been in the truck yet. Do you want to bring the truck out there and do this event with me? And I said, absolutely. So I'm going to be taking off here, headed towards Sanford, go meet up with Jonathan. We'll be streaming at 9:30 at clickorlando.com, talking with him a little bit, learn a little about him, and then we'll be spending the day out there hanging out with all the cool toys that the hurricane hunters use. So it should be a good morning.
Very nice way to round out the week. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think so. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. We made it. Thanks, Trooper Steve.
Yep. Have a good Mother's Day weekend.
Thank you. Your mother, too. Thank you. All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So we have some news to get to, and then we'll get to that Military Caregiver Month interview. I want to tell you about actually the brush fire threat really quickly. Williamson Boulevard in Daytona Beach at one point, fire was burning on both sides of the road, and crews say about 40 acres were burned out there, and the smoke could be visible over the next couple of days. So if you do have to drive out around there, around Williamson Boulevard in that area, look out for the smoke. Another fire in Palm Bay in an area known as a compound torched about 10 acres before it was under control. So the hot and dry conditions, hopefully we'll get some relief in the coming days with that. Now to a troubling story out of Osceola County where a mother is demanding answers from the school district after her son from the middle school, Kissimmee Middle School, ended up in the hospital allegedly for consuming a gummy, a marijuana gummy from a classmate. And so she is asking for answers, and she says her 7th grade son should not be having access to drugs at school. And so we have more about the answers that she is seeking now. Here's Ezzy Castro.
But when I looked at his eyes were like red. And he was like, "Mom, I don't feel good. My stomach is bothering me."
A mother of a Kissimmee Middle School student is outraged after she says her son was given Sour Patch candy that turned out to be edible marijuana. She sat down with her Treasure Roberts last night, but didn't want to show her face for safety reasons. She says her son, who is in 7th grade, took the candy from a mutual friend at the school Wednesday.
Did you take something from someone? And that's when he said, yes. I saw a friend of mine, a mutual friend. She was eating some candy, and I asked her for a candy. She gave me the candy, and after I ingested the candy, she told me, "Haha, you just had an edible."
He was taken to the hospital where his test results came back positive for marijuana. And even though he's now doing okay, his mother told us she wants other parents to be aware.
I just do not want my son in Kissimmee Middle School. Like, I am completely done with them. Done.
So, of course, that is concerning. We'll let you know what we learned from Osceola County School District if we hear anything from there. Now to a special live interview this morning with Seniors Helping Seniors. May is Military Caregiver Month, and we have so many things that we try to draw attention to every week and every month of the year. And right now, the focus is on military caregivers, which is a major component in our healthcare and our support systems out there. And so we have Mike Walters with us this morning, the owner of Seniors Helping Seniors, serving seniors and supporting seniors across Flagler, St. Johns, and Volusia counties, where their mission is to support the seniors, and they have a special focus on veterans, as well as Charlie Viviera, who is a caregiver, with us this morning. Good morning, gentlemen. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Charlie. And Mike, can you hear us?
I can hear you fine.
All right, great. So I just wanted to start with you, Mike. Seniors Helping Seniors. It is Military Caregiver Month, but you serve seniors in those 3 counties. You have a focus on veterans. What's the history of the organization?
Yeah, Seniors Helping Seniors has a unique approach to home health care. We focus on hiring qualified, able-bodied, mature adults to be the caregivers. And it really creates a more relatable, reliable, empathy, and overall higher quality of care. And to the point of this month, the relatability of veterans can help veterans, and that bond that they naturally have adds to the quality.
And Charlie, you're here as a caregiver this morning to talk about it from your point of view. How did you get into caregiving?
Well, I'm an Air Force veteran, and
Thank you for
I
your
was
service.
very fortunate that the training that I got set me up to have a very successful career in the computer repair business. Did that for 40 years, and everything I successful for was through the Air Force. So this is my way of giving back because I had a good training and a good experience there, and now like I said, I'm trying to help back, and it's rewarding to try to help other veterans.
So right now, what assignments do you have, or who are you working with? I know you may not be able to be too specific because of like health privacy, but just tell us about what your duties
Oh
are
no,
like right now.
I actually have a very darling couple. They're both 91 years old.
Oh,
All right. He was in Vietnam as a lieutenant officer in the Army. They met in assisted living when they were 87 years old.
wow.
Okay, and they've been living together since. So they're a very fun couple to take care of. I do minor things. I take them to doctor's appointments
Hmm.
and grocery shopping, and but every once in a while, if they need certain things like clothing and what have you, I'll take them
Hmm.
shopping. But they're a very fun couple, and I enjoy their company, and again, I love giving back, and they're a good couple, which is they're the reason why I do this program.
I'm sure they love you. And so, how often do you see them?
Of that particular couple, it's usually once a week, like for 3 hours. But sometimes sometimes they have like more doctor's appointments, so then I might see them maybe two, maximum three times a week. But for the most part, it's usually like a 3 hour shift, and which is more than enough for me to take them shopping and put away their clothes. I mean, put away their food, and also like help them with the house as far as vacuuming, cleaning, just making sure that the house is safe.
That is amazing. I love that. And
Hmm.
Mike, so many times our seniors, they may have family, but they might not be nearby, and so this really helps stand in the gap for them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I tell people, um, we help people that their loved ones, they live many states away and they can't geographically help, or they may live right down the street, but they have families of their own, they have full-time jobs, and they can't do it as much as they want to. So it's nice to be able to go in and supplement that and really help their loved ones stay in their homes.
And so the level of care, what describe the range in sort of how your assignments work out, and if you're taking new clients or hiring more caregivers right now.
Yeah, we're always taking new clients, always hiring more caregivers, serving those three counties, Flagler, St. Johns, Volusia counties, for our particular location, and the level of care, it's non-medical in-home care. So I tell people it's anything that you would do for your own loved ones, anything that you would do for your own mom or dad. And You can go to seniorshelpingseniors.com to see a full list of services and even request help and apply to be a caregiver.
So non-medical, that would mean if you're needing like a full-time nurse, or you're needing a nurse to come help with like medicine, or what do you mean when you say non-medical specifically?
Yeah. So, the VA, one of the most heartwarming things that I've found in this industry is the workers at the VA. Um, they're phenomenal. I mean, they really, really, really care, and and I mean, I call them the heroes serving our heroes,
Hmm.
uh, and so we're one aspect when a veteran comes in and they qualify for services. If it's PT, if it's OT, if it's skilled nursing, they have partnerships with agencies that do all that stuff, and they get the veteran in touch with them. If it's non-medical in-home care, they get in touch with us, and then we reach out to the veteran. But they're just fantastic at what they do, and they coordinate all that stuff for the veterans. So um, I would recommend getting in touch with the social worker at the VA or whoever you work with at the VA, and they can make sure you're getting all the benefits that you're qualified for.
Do you find that there are lots of people who have unclaimed benefits or haven't gotten, all the necessary documentation taken care of, who would be eligible, they just haven't done all the paperwork yet?
100%. Yes, yes, yes. All the time, and it's just a matter of knowing what you're eligible for and then navigating that system, and that's what we've worked really hard to do. And really, the people at the VA that we work with, they've worked really hard to simplify that, so they can anyone can go to seniorshelpingseniors.com, put their zip code in, it'll get them in touch with the right location, and then we can help navigate that system, or the people at the VA can. And again, what I've found is a community of people that really work well together to maximize the care for our veterans and the non-veterans too.
And if you're not a veteran and you need some help like this, what would be your first recommendation in trying to see how to add this to your lifestyle or afford it, or if you're eligible for some sort of benefit to help you make it happen.
Yep, certainly. Again, go to the website, seniorshelpingseniors.com, and then reach out to the local office and give us a call, and we'll walk you through that process. It's a lot simpler than most people think.
Yeah. And Charlie, I want to talk to you about how do you disarm maybe the defensive person who's like, I don't need any help, because there is that difficult transition sometimes of being self-sufficient to actually accepting help. How do you get through some of those ups and downs?
Funny you say that, because the couple that I take care of, something as simple as pushing a shopping cart. I'm trying to help them, and they're like, no, do not help me push my shopping cart. That I can do this. So I've learned to also back away and give them that space, of independence. It's hard for them to, again, if you've been independent for all your life, and now all of a sudden, they don't want to be treated like a child. They want to be treated with respect, and I'm slowly learning that. One of the perks that I wanted to also say, one of the perks for working for Seniors Helping Seniors is the fact that I am learning how to gracefully grow old.
Yeah.
So by helping these elderly people, I'm learning, and it's opening my eyes to all different things that I did not see before.
Yes, it's so interesting how the mind, it can be so sharp, but the body might be more frail. And so when you're working with them, what types of things do you think that maybe family, maybe children can look out for in terms of trying to figure out if mom, dad, aunts, uncles might need a little extra help at home, and they're trying to navigate broaching that conversation and getting that journey started?
Well, part of the training that seniors gave me, were like when you walk into a client for the first time, to look at the environment. Believe it or not, one of the shocking things that I've learned, the number one cause of the elderly dying is not a heart attack, it's not a stroke, it's not cancer, it's simply falling down. And the
Yes.
couple that I'm taking care of, she had just recovered from falling down, breaking her neck, and she was in the hospital for 2 months. So
Wow.
she, thank God she's okay.
Yeah.
But the recovery, it takes a lot longer these days. And I had another couple that I went there day one, and I'm explaining different things, and I explained the falling down factor, and not within 5 minutes, she actually turned around, tripped over an area rug, and almost hit her head on the table.
Mm.
So and little things like that, like area rugs, coffee tables, anything that has a sharp right. It's a dangerous thing to have. That again, if the elderly has a hard time walking or concentrating on where they're going, if they fall down, it can be a very dangerous situation.
Okay, well, this is great information, and we appreciate both of you sharing some insight into caregiving for seniors, and especially our veterans as well, as part of Military Caregiver Month. And so seniorshelpingseniors.com for more information. They'll help point you in the right direction. Thank you for all you do, and thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Bridget.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care.
Bridget.
Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
So it's great information right there, and a great time to recognize those hardworking caregivers. We want to tell you about a couple of things this morning. Do we want to go into, Kathleen, do we have time to tell one more story, or do we want to? Okay, would you like SunPass? We want to warn you about a scam happening with SunPass. Here's Catherine Silver.
It starts with a text message like this one that says you owe money in your SunPass account and you should pay it promptly at web-sunpass.com to avoid late fees. But there are immediate red flags: the punctuation, the urgency, and the biggest one, the actual SunPass site is sunpass.com.
sunpass-toll.com, sunpass-tolls.com. sunpass-express.com. I can go on and on.
We were there Thursday when Florida's Attorney General announced that the state has shut down 10 of these fraudulent websites. How many more like them do you think there are?
We feel good that we've shut down the majority of these.
They're part of smishing schemes designed to trick you into downloading malware, share personal information, or send money to scammers.
In this particular case, our agents and analysts say there could have been hundreds of victims in Florida who received a text message saying they owed $3.95 to SunPass.
The FBI has received over 2,000 similar complaints in at least 3 states. Florida is a prime target with more than 700 miles of toll roads. 160 of those miles are right here in Orange County.
Daily, this type of activity goes on.
But as you know, as soon as we stay on top of these things, scammers change the game on us. So Floridians have to be aware.
So what should you do if you get a text like this? SunPass never asks for immediate payment via text. You need to check your actual account, and the only legitimate website is sunpass.com. If you've already mistakenly clicked on one of these fake links, make sure you check your credit bureau report and your credit card statements. And don't check just once. Keep monitoring them. I'm Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, so be careful with those toll payments for SunPass and how you're corresponding with them for sure. So we're getting ready for hitting the road next week. Next Wednesday, we're hitting the road to go to Montverde in Lake County, 34756. We'll be out there at Kirk Park from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hope you'll come out and join us. We'll also be giving out some great News 6 gear. Hope to meet you there on Wednesday. On Monday, we'll have some more previews of what will be happening on the road in Montverde next week. But that'll do it for us for now. And Weatherwise with Jonathan Kegas is up next, followed by Trooper Steve on patrol. I'll see you on News 6 at noon today, and wishing all the mothers and mother figures a happy Mother's Day weekend. Take care.